So, you've got a Social Security disability hearing coming up? Then I bet you've heard the whispers, right? That your entire financial future really just depends on the luck of the draw, which judge you happen to get? Well, today, we're going to tackle that fear head on. So, is it really true? Is winning your disability case just a game of chance, a lottery? The idea that some judges are just easy, while others are super strict. The raw numbers, they can definitely make it seem that way. And that's a huge source of anxiety for so many people.
Right, so this whole judge lottery idea, it isn't just a rumor people are passing around. It's actually fueled by some very real, publicly available data. So let's dive in and see what the numbers are actually suggesting and where this fear really comes from.
Okay, so this all comes from something called the ALJ disposition data. Now, what is that? Well, essentially, the Social Security Administration publishes every single judge's track record, their personal rates for approvals, denials, and dismissals. The idea is to be transparent. But here's the catch. Without the right context, this data can be super misleading.
Okay, so just look at this for a second. You've got Judge A approving cases 65% of the time. Then there's Judge B way down at 40%. When you see a chart like this, it's so easy to understand why that idea of easy versus strict judges really takes hold. I mean, who wouldn't want Judge A, right? No question about it.
But hold on a second. Is it really that simple? Is a judge's personality really the deciding factor? Or is there maybe something else, something much deeper, going on behind those stats?
All right, let's get to the real heart of it. Why do these judges have such different approval rates? It's time to bust this whole judge lottery myth wide open and really look at how the system actually works. Look, these differences aren't just random luck. They're driven by really specific things, like the kind of cases a judge gets in their particular region, how much pressure they're under with their caseload, how many years of experience they have. And this one's huge, the quality of your representation.
So let me give you an example. Think about a judge in a more rural area. They might see a lot more cases involving physical injuries from manual labor, and those cases often have really clear-cut, black and white medical evidence. But a judge in a big city? They might see way more mental health claims, which can be a lot more complex to prove on paper. See? It's not really about the judge being biased, it's about the completely different types of cases landing on their desk.
Okay, so now that we've kind of pulled back the curtain on what's happening behind the scenes, let's actually step inside the hearing room. Because this is where you have the most control, and I promise you, it's probably not what you're picturing in your head.
First things first, forget everything you've seen on TV courtroom dramas. A disability hearing isn't some big legal showdown. It's really more like a private 45-minute meeting. Your goal isn't to win an argument. It's simply to present the facts of your case clearly and honestly.
And in that room, your credibility is everything. It's your most powerful tool. The judge just wants to see that what you're saying lines up with what's in your medical records, and that you're being upfront about your limitations. Even simple stuff like showing up on time and just being calm and truthful can make a massive difference in building that trust.
And all of this brings us to what might be the single most important takeaway here. Preparation beats prediction, every single time. Being proactive and building a solid case is so much more powerful than just crossing your fingers and hoping you get a so-called good judge.
There's a reason hearings are assigned randomly. It's to stop people from judge shopping. Trying to game the system or wait for a certain judge, it's just a waste of time. All it does is cause delays, add a ton of stress, and pull your focus away from what really, truly matters, building an undeniable case for yourself. Okay, so how do you actually do that? How do you take control? Here are 5 strategies that can completely change the game. Number 1, tell a consistent story. This means everything you say has to match up with your medical records and application forms. Number 2, anticipate the questions. Know your case inside and out, especially the parts that might look a little weak. 3, document your function, not just your diagnosis. It's not enough to say, I have this condition. You have to show exactly how it stops you from working. 4, be ready for those tough questions about your work history. And number 5, and this is key, use that judge data not as something to fear, but as a roadmap to inform your strategy.
One of our sources put it perfectly. Our success rate isn't tied to who's on the bench, it's tied to how well we prepare you for whoever is. That right there, that's the winning mindset.
So at the end of the day, it all comes down to a really fundamental shift in how you think about this. You're not just a passive victim of some random lottery. You are an active player in your own success story.
When you really break it all down, the impact of the specific judge you get, it's pretty minimal. But your preparation, that's decisive. That is the one thing that can absolutely change the outcome.
So if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. The real difference between getting approved and getting denied is preparation.
So, your hearing is coming up, and the choice is really yours. Are you going to bet on luck, or are you going to take control?